my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is going to be my personal review of the Fairy Frolic palette from Alien Cosmetics, which looks like this. So this, if you ask me, is the most perfect fall themed palette of all times. This is so beautiful. It is so fairy-like, you know? And this is also something that I just need to say, like right at the top, that this is such the theme and the palette and the execution and everything together is just so rounded and so beautiful. And I immediately, when I saw this, and I remember when it popped up on my Instagram and I put it into my file to talk about it in my new makeup releases videos, I was like, oh, I need this palette. And I ordered this on pre-sale. I ordered this on pre-sale because, like, immediately, must have been in July or something, the second this went up, this is when I bought it. You know, this is how much I loved it. This is beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I think one can probably, for a 9-pan palette, and you know my heart is for bigger palettes, definitely, still, you know, always will be, probably. But as far as 9-pan palettes go, as far as you can narrow it down, this is the most perfect, the most perfect fall themed palette, if you ask me. This is so gorgeous, seriously. Okay, you know what, I did of course today a look with this palette. This is my second look. I'm going to let you see the first one that I did with the palette, which was also super nice, and then we're going to talk a little bit more. Alright, sweeties, I hope you did enjoy the one look. It is so weird for me to just include one more look because usually I'm doing more, but that is usually then also for bigger palettes. Now, this is a 9-pan palette, and for me it is small. It is a small palette, you know, but it was my choice to buy this because it is just so outrageously beautiful that I thought that there's no way that I'm not going to have this. Besides that, also, I'm a huge fan of Alien Cosmetics. So, you know, it's just, there are so many things that come together. If the palette fits, and if the brand fits, and if the performance fits, then, you know, like, what am I waiting for? So anyway, so let's go into the look from today, and that is actually very unusual, and you probably saw that immediately, that this is a very unusual look for me because I used so many shimmers in all the places that I usually would never do. Yeah, but anyway, just wanted to show you close up, and now I'm going to tell you a little bit, oops, sorry for scaring you. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about what I did today, okay? So first of all, in my crease I used this one, and then I decided, really, because I wanted to blend it out with something, but there isn't really anything I can blend this out with. So you might have to also, if you're very fair skinned like I am, you might have to pull in something else, but I didn't want to pull in a different palette for this purpose today, okay? So I decided then to go out of my comfort zone, and I kind of start to feel like it's not the end of the world, you know, to pull in this one here and blend it out towards the top. And that is so unusual, and I kind of dragged it also a little bit over this one, so now it looks a little bit like this is all, it's all shimmer shades. I don't think one can actually really differentiate I don't know, that this is a matte anymore, but I kind of like it, you know. It's also in the spirit of the palette. This is like super fairy-like and just on theme, you know, for this palette, so I can totally vibe with that. Plus, I definitely in this look now wanted to use all the remaining shades that I hadn't used yet, because I wanted to be able to tell you about the shades, obviously. So anyway, so this is what I did. I used this in my crease, I blended it out with this one, and then on my lid I used in the outer and in the inner corner I used this one, and in the middle I used this one as sort of as a halo, you know. Under my eye, what did I do? Forgot already. Under my eye I used this one, this green, and then closer to the waterline I backed it up with this cool toned brown. Yeah. Then in my inner corner, I actually have a different palette, and this is my Highlight is Too Bright palette from Marilia Scott Cosmetics, and I have this green here in my inner corner, and on my cheekbone I have this peachy shade here. So anyway, just that on the side in case you were wondering. Okay, I do have a very, very dark green on my lower waterline as an eyeliner pencil, and of course you will find everything in the description box, everything that I've used. Okay, so I have to tell you about this palette. And of course, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna swatch this, of course, because this is a small palette. I can swatch this live on my channel. Now, look at this. I have these beautiful scratches here, and this is not even from my animals, it's from the cage. There is like a sharp edge on the cage, and that scratched up my arm. And I think I'm going to just swatch it here today instead, because this is just not very pretty. So let me just get organized. Sorry for the noise. And then we're gonna go right into it. Okay, I'm going to swatch it all on a bare arm, and this is where we're going. I don't have shade names here. There are no shade names in the palette, but oh, I'm just dipping my finger into the first shade, and it's so smooth and so yum. Anyway, all right, I don't even know how to bend my arm to do this right now, but here we go. So this is definitely like a duochrome shade. You can't even see it, I'm so sorry. This is like a duochrome shade. It shifts from, I would say, like a rust kind of a color to a purple fuchsia kind of a thing. It is super, super pretty. I don't know if it's duochrome, if it's multichrome. I never know. I see so many things in these shades that I really honestly never know. So this is beautiful. This is what I have in the outer and inner corners of my lid today. Then this next shade here is like a mustard, like a kind of a murky mustard kind of a shade that I used as the blending out shade for the darker green matte in my first look. Beautiful shade, a super, super good performance. It's actually cool that I can, while I'm swatching you each shade, I can talk to you about each shade. That's really, really cool. Okay, so, ooh, this also swatches so nicely. You know, sweeties, for a matte on my arms repel mattes, seriously, you know, but this is super pretty. Super pretty. I'm so proud of myself. Okay, the next one is the shade that I have as the halo here on my eyelid. Those shades, sweeties, oh, what is this even? Like, this is like pure fairy dust. Seriously. This is like, it's beautiful. It has like, it's a cool toned green, and it has, actually, you know what? It has a warm shift when I think about it. But from the other side, when you look at it, it has a cold, like a bluish kind of a shift. So this is really spectacular. Really spectacular. And again, it is completely not straight. But anyway, nothing is straight in my life, sweeties. What can I do? All right, that was the first row, and I'm so enjoying this. Wow. Okay, the next one is the one that I have under my eye, and this is this warm tone green. So this is, from the first look, this is a warm tone green, and I think this is not a duochrome. I think this is like a normal shimmer, but let's see. All right. Yeah, I think this is a normal shimmer. That is also the impression that I had beforehand. And this is how it looks. I hope you can see it. It leans a little bit, because it is a warm green, it leans a little bit in the direction of gold. A little bit. Okay, I will also include a swatch video afterwards so you can see it closer up, okay? All right, the next one is this cool brown matte that I have also here under my lower lash line. I did not use this shade super much. Just saying, okay? Not yet. But anyway, just wanted to use it a little bit. Now I have sparkles on my fingers and everything is like spinning out of control. So I just wanted to use it a little bit so I can tell you, does it build? Is it nice? And it is, okay? It is a very, very nice matte. And I'm gonna put it right here, and they swatch like you would not believe. Like, what is this even? Why can I suddenly swatch? You know? Like, really? Where does it come from? Either a miracle happened overnight, or this is really just that exceptional, you know? I'm out of this mind, out of this world, out of my mind. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, now we have this one right here, which I have in my crease underneath all the shimmer and sparkle. Yeah, and that is also a cool tone shade, like a berry kind of a tone. Let's see how this performs. This also swatches nicely. really, really nicely. Wow. Okay, so you can see this is a berry tone, right? Yeah, so that is that shade. Also, the performance was really nice, super buildable, everything nice. I mean, always when I put something on my unset eyeshadow base, I always feel this dragging motion in the beginning, you know, because you're basically setting your eyeshadow base with your eyeshadow instead of putting a powder on beforehand. So, but that is normal, you know, so just saying that this is when you're doing makeup like I do, this is what you have to expect. It is a normal thing to happen. Doesn't mean that the shade will not eventually blend out nicely and build up nicely. It is just sometimes, you know, where your brush touches your skin for the first time, it sort of drags a little bit, you know? So that is just what it is. That also happened today, but it's a normal thing that always happens to me. Okay, the next shade is this one right here. This is like rust kind of a shade. So good at this. Okay, there we go. This is also a normal shimmer as far as I can tell, and it's super beautiful. The color scheme, sweeties, it is very foiled. You can probably see that. I cannot believe that this is like all on an angle. What is wrong with me? Anyway, so this is super foiled. It's super, super pretty. Really, really swatched nicely also. Okay, and then we're going into the green. That was, of course, one of the first shades that I used in this palette was this dark matte green, which looks like this. And that is also, of course, cool toned. Really, really pretty. Oh, I already feel it on my finger. This is exceptional. Yeah, that's what I thought. Can you see anything? Let me just do one more swipe on top of this. Okay, so this is how it looks. It's beautiful. We're getting worse here with the angle. All right, so anyway, this is how it looks. And then the last one is, it is not really a gold. It's not a gold, it's darker. It is like a bronze kind of a shade, you know? So this is how it looks. And let's just swatch that one too. Oh, this is like what royalty looks like, you know? Can you see this? This is like royalty. This is royalty in a palette. Oh, girls, guys, yeah, this is beautiful. This is so, so stunning. Okay, let me just try to bend in a certain way so I can do a swatch video, and then we'll be back and I'll give you my final opinion of the palette. Okay, sweeties, now that you saw the swatches close up, I hope you got the impression that I have from this palette, because it is just so, so stunning. So stunning, sweeties, for a 9-pan palette. There is so much in this that is absolutely amazing. And of course, when you are at home and you are not on social media and you're just doing looks for yourself, then you can, of course, if you're very fair like I am, put in something else, like pull in another matte or something like this to blend out, for example, this shade here or something, you know, because blending this one out all on its own, it's a bit of a challenge. But that also goes for other brands, you know, for every brand that gives you a dark shade. If you just try to blend out this shade on its own, it is a bit of a situation, you know. So if you don't want to go through the time that you have to invest in doing something like this, and just pull in something else. Also, of course, with this one, but there you have also this one that you can use as a shade underneath that you can use to blend this one out. But anyway, this is absolutely stunning. The color scheme is stunning. The whole everything around this palette, it's also like a little, this is like textured, like it is so, so special, you know. Really, really well done. The only thing that I would have changed is shade names. Fairy-like shade names. I would have loved that, you know. That would have been really, really great. Now I have two other palettes from Alien Cosmetics. So one is the Summer on Earth palette that I've just recently featured, and I don't know, earlier on in the year, I also featured the Moody palette. That was the winter palette last year of like the winter 2019, 2020. This one I have featured, and then afterwards, like just recently, I also got this one. Now, when I compare this one with the Fairy Frolic palette, there is of course a difference in performance because of the shades are being so different, you know? Like the whole vibe in this palette is way softer and way more romantic and way more gentle, and like it's pulling you towards nature and it's pulling you towards, I don't know, to all of these things. Now this is pulling you out of space. You know, it was also like it's an insane palette, insanely beautiful, really over the top, you know, but it's a completely different concept, completely different vibe. So just saying, you know, Alien Cosmetics has a lot to offer. Anyway, but this, now speaking about this, the performance was absolutely beautiful. I enjoyed it super much. I cannot complain. Really, the only thing is shade names. Everything else, I would not change a thing, you know? All right, so here you also have a mirror if that is important to you. You have the ingredients on the back. I cannot say anything about staining. In my green look, I definitely did not have staining. I don't know about this one. Maybe I can put it up on the screen because when I'm editing, I probably have taken off this makeup look so I can tell you if the red left some kind of staining or anything. Besides that, buildability was absolutely there. Blendability, I told you, it is an issue when you're very fair and you have dark shades. Just pull something else in, you know, it's not an issue. It doesn't need to be an issue. Okay, so that was good. Creasing, fading, no problem at all. And you know, I'm wearing my makeup always a very long time during the day, so I don't have that issue. But please use your makeup on a good eyeshadow base that is suitable for you. That will always change your makeup game, definitely. You know, besides that, dots, no. There are no dots in this palette. That would be horrible if there would be a dot in the palette, in a 9-pan palette. Like, what are you left with? You know, that would be really horrible. But there is nothing in this palette where I say this is not good, you know? Of course, those shifting shades, this one and this one, are probably my most favorite ones because I'm totally enamored with shades like this. But also this one is beautiful. Like everything is beautiful and everything makes sense in this palette. It is, like I said in the beginning, a very well-rounded release, and I don't even know if they meant it to be a fall release. Maybe, I don't know. I've not spoken to them about that. But anyway, but this is perfect. It is perfect. And if you do not have already like a million things, or maybe even if you do, but you were just looking for this perfect fall themed palette that gives you a bit of a softer vibe, then this might be the thing for you. Performance wise, shade range wise, color story wise, everything just fits in this palette. So this was my raving review for this palette. I love it. I love Alien Cosmetics. I'm in super support for that brand. I'm also an affiliate. I have to tell you, I'm not going to hide it. I'm affiliated with Alien Cosmetics. I do have a code with them. It is affiliated. You don't have to use it. It will not change my opinion though. If there would have been something that I wouldn't have liked, I would have told you. Okay, so anyway, that is that. What can I say, you know, when you are on a social media platform and you are convinced you have tried a brand and it has worked for you and it is amazing, you know, then why not be an affiliate and stand for that brand? You know, it is just the way it is. It makes sense. So anyway, that is that. I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did so, then please give the video a like, and you can of course leave me your comments in the comment section down below. Besides that, you will find everything that I'm wearing today, of course, in the description box. And yeah, and besides that, of course, subscribe to my channel. If you're new here, I would love to have you here. Please make sure to browse around in my content and see what else I have to offer. And only then, if you like what you see there, then please subscribe, because I don't want you like to be sucked into my universe and then at some point you think like, what did I get myself into, you know? So anyway, but we are a very positive place here and I love everybody who is here. So thank you so much for joining if you want to, and I will see you here next time for my next video, which is going to be super soon. And up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.